Welcome back to another episode of Versus Battles. In this matchup, we pit Shalla-Bal, the inheritor of the Silver Surfer mantle, against Thanos, the infamous Mad Titan. Even in their base forms, both characters are entities that possess the power cosmic, a primordial energy source capable of reshaping reality, bending space-time, and annihilating entire galaxies. However, the ways they approach and utilize this energy are completely distinct. Shalla-Bal represents sacrifice, love, and selflessness, while Thanos is the embodiment of obsession, grandiosity, and a thirst for absolute control. To understand who would be the last one standing, we need to delve deep into their origins, the nature of their powers, their psychology, and most importantly, their battles. Let's get started. First up is Shalla-Bal, the female Silver Surfer. Shalla-Bal is not only the name of a distant planet in the Zen-La system, but also the homeworld of Norrin-Radd, who later became the first and most famous Silver Surfer. However, in the events surrounding Norrin's sacrifice, Shalla-Bal is also the name of the woman Norrin loved deeply, and it is she who inherited the mantle of the Silver Surfer, becoming the bearer of the surfboard and the power cosmic. Shalla-Bal's origin is steeped in tragedy and sacrifice. Her home planet, Zen-La, was a utopian civilization where all citizens lived in peace and prosperity thanks to advanced technology and noble philosophies. Yet, this very perfection led to stagnation, and when Galactus, the devourer of worlds, arrived to consume Zen-La, Norrin-Radd, Shalla-Bal's lover, volunteered to become Galactus's herald in exchange for the safety of the planet and for Shalla-Bal. This sacrifice shaped the destinies of them both. When Norrin could no longer continue his role, Shalla-Bal stepped up, accepting the power cosmic to continue the mission of protecting the universe that her lover had begun. Shalla-Bal's power, as the Silver Surfer, is the perfect fusion of the power cosmic and an indomitable will. The power cosmic is one of the most powerful primordial energy sources created in the first moments of the Big Bang, and it is the lifeblood that sustains Galactus. When channeled into a mortal body, it transforms the recipient into a virtually immortal being with the ability to manipulate reality on a cosmic scale. Shalla-Bal possesses all of these abilities, including flight at faster than light speeds, travel through dimensional planes, the manipulation of matter and energy at the atomic level, the creation of force fields capable of withstanding thermonuclear explosions, and the projection of destructive energy blasts that can tear planets apart. Shalla-Bal's flight capability is one of her most defining traits. She can move at speeds exceeding light, breaking the barriers of space-time and traversing galaxies in mere moments. On her surfboard, she can manipulate gravity, create wormholes for instantaneous teleportation, and even travel backward in time under certain circumstances. This speed makes her one of the fastest entities in the universe, rivaled only by a select few like the Runner or high-level Cosmic Abstract. Shalla-Bal possesses superhuman strength, allowing her to engage in hand-to-hand combat with the mightiest warriors in the universe. Her body is coated in a metallic silver skin that is not merely aesthetic but serves as a natural armor capable of withstanding physical and energy attacks on a planetary scale. She is immune to most forms of disease, aging, and extreme environmental conditions, from the vacuum of space to the cores of stars. Her stamina is virtually limitless, allowing her to fight continuously for days without rest. Shalla-Bal's energy manipulation abilities are incredibly versatile. She can absorb and convert most forms of energy, from gamma radiation to magical energy, using them to augment her own power. She can generate energy blasts with the destructive force of supernovas, create protective force fields that can endure attacks from cosmic entities, and even manipulate time and space to a certain degree. One of her most impressive abilities is the power to sense and manipulate the power cosmic within other entities, allowing her to detect and neutralize threats from a great distance. Unlike Norrin-Radd, who is often tormented by memories of sacrifice and loss, Shalla-Bal carries within her an unyielding fighting spirit and boundless selflessness. She fights not for glory or power, but for love and protection. This makes her incredibly dangerous in battle because she never backs down from stronger foes and is always ready to sacrifice herself to protect the weak. Shalla-Bal's battles against formidable enemies have proven her strength and will. She has faced other heralds of Galactus, entities who also wield the power cosmic, but with different purposes and philosophies. She fought Terex the Tamer, a brutal and aggressive herald, and through ingenuity and courage, she defeated him, liberating the planets he had oppressed. She also confronted Morg, a herald granted extra power by Galactus to hunt down Norrin. And although overwhelmed in terms of raw power, she held her ground thanks to her indomitable will and creative combat tactic. One of Shalla-Bal's most memorable battles was when she stood up to Galactus himself. When Galactus was corrupted or controlled by dark entities, Shalla-Bal rose to challenge the very being who had granted her power. Even knowing her strength was but a fraction of Galactus's, she did not hesitate to fight, using every ability at her disposal to slow his advance and protect innocent planets. Shalla-Bal has also faced threats from beyond the universe, dark entities that threaten the very existence of all things. In certain events, she has fought alongside Earth's heroes, such as the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, and the original Silver Surfer to combat threats like Annihilus, Blastar, or even abstract entities like the Cancerverse. In these battles, Shalla-Bal learned to coordinate with other heroes, combining her power cosmic with Reed Richards' technology, Doctor Strange's magic, and Thor's physical might to create devastating combined assault. However, Shalla-Bal is not without weaknesses. Her greatest vulnerability lies within her own heart. Her love for Norrin Radd and her compassion for all living things sometimes cause her to hesitate at crucial moments, giving her enemies an opening to counterattack. This puts her at a disadvantage against adversaries with no moral boundaries, such as Thanos or Darkseid. Furthermore, despite possessing the power cosmic, she has yet to achieve the level of mastery attained by Norrin Radd, who spent millennia learning and exploring the mysteries of this energy source. As a result, she can sometimes be overwhelmed in confrontations with more seasoned heralds or higher-level cosmic entities. Now, let's talk about Thanos, the Mad Titan. Thanos, also known as the Mad Titan, is one of the most terrifying and complex entities in the universe. Born on Titan, a moon of Saturn, Thanos is the son of Alars, an Eternal, and Suisan. However, unlike his brethren, Thanos carries the deviant gene, which gives him a grotesque appearance with purple skin, a massive physique, and features that make him look more like a dark god than an Eternal. It was this very difference that shaped Thanos' psyche from childhood, fueling his obsession with death, destruction, and an insatiable need to prove his own superiority. Thanos harbors a mad love for Mistress Death, the abstract embodiment of death in the Marvel Universe. This love is not a romantic affair, but a morbid obsession, driving Thanos to do anything to please Death, including the annihilation of billions of lives. It is this twisted love that has motivated Thanos to commit the most brutal acts in cosmic history, from exterminating half the population of Titan to seeking out the Infinity Gauntlet to become an omnipotent being. Thanos' power is a terrifying combination of superhuman physicality, genius-level intellect, and the ability to access cosmic energy sources. Physically, Thanos possesses strength, stamina, and durability far exceeding most other warriors. He can lift over 100 tons and withstand attacks from the likes of Hulk, Thor, and even Celestials. His skin is nearly impervious, rendering him immune to most forms of physical and energy attacks, from gamma radiation to thermonuclear explosions. He can survive in the vacuum of space, at the bottom of the ocean, and even in the cores of stars. His speed and reflexes far surpass those of ordinary humans, allowing him to engage in hand-to-hand combat with speedsters like Quicksilver or the Silver Surfer. However, physical strength is only a small part of Thanos' arsenal. His intellect is what makes him truly dangerous. Thanos is a genius with extensive knowledge of quantum physics, time travel, genetic engineering, and the mystic arts. He has created countless inventions centuries ahead of their time, from machines capable of draining the energy of cosmic entities to biological weapons that can wipe out an entire planet in mere hours. He is a master military strategist, having led the Titan fleet to conquer countless galaxies and defeat the mightiest armies in the universe. Thanos' energy-based abilities are equally fearsome. Although he is not a herald of Galactus, Thanos has learned to access and utilize the power cosmic through research and experimentation. He can project devastating energy beams from his eyes and hands, create force fields capable of withstanding attacks from cosmic entities, and manipulate matter at the atomic level. Yet, Thanos' true power lies in his ability to access cosmic artifacts. The Infinity Gauntlet, the Cosmic Cube, the Heart of the Universe, and many other relics have fallen into Thanos' hands, transforming him into an omnipotent being capable of reshaping reality at will. Thanos is a brilliant general and a brutal warrior. He does not fight with reckless aggression, but with the cold calculation of one who has endured millennia of warfare. He delights in watching his enemies despair as they realize his superiority before he delivers the killing blow, and he is willing to use any means necessary, from deception to outright slaughter, to achieve his goals. He is a master of psychological warfare, adept at exploiting his enemies' mental weaknesses to gain an advantage. Thanos' battles against formidable foes have become the stuff of legend. One of his most famous confrontations was when he possessed the Infinity Gauntlet and became an omnipotent being. During the Infinity Gauntlet saga, Thanos assembled the 6 Infinity Stones and used them to wipe out half the population of the universe simply to please Mistress Death. When the heroes of Earth and cosmic entities such as Eternity, Infinity, and the Living Tribunal rose up against him, Thanos easily defeated them, turning them to stone and hanging them like trophies. It was only when Adam Warlock, with the aid of the cosmic entities, found a way to deceive Thanos that he was finally defeated. Another memorable battle of Thanos was when he faced the Avengers during the Infinity War event. This time, Thanos not only possessed the Infinity Gauntlet, but also created a clone of himself, known as the Magus, to serve as his ally. He led a powerful army of the most dangerous villains in the universe, attacking Earth and other planets in search of cosmic artifacts. In this battle, Thanos confronted Earth's mightiest heroes, from Hulk, Thor, and Captain America to Iron Man, and effortlessly defeated them. He was only vanquished when Adam Warlock and the Silver Surfer joined forces, using the power cosmic to neutralize the Infinity Gauntlet and strip him of his power. Thanos has also faced off against higher-level cosmic entities, beings that even the strongest heroes fear. He fought Galactus, the Devourer of Worlds, and though overwhelmed in terms of raw power, he held his ground through sheer intellect and creative combat tactics. He used the Cosmic Cube to create energy traps, slowing Galactus' advance and forcing him to retreat. He also confronted the Celestials, colossal cosmic beings whose power can reshape galaxies, and although he was defeated, he left a terrifying impression upon the minds of these entities. Thanos' most brutal battle was perhaps his confrontation with Darkseid, his arch-nemesis from the DC universe. During the JLA Avengers event, Thanos and Darkseid briefly allied to seek out cosmic artifacts, but when their interests clashed, they turned against one another. The battle between these two titans was one of the most epic in history, with the power to destroy the multiverse itself. Thanos wielded the Infinity Gauntlet against Darkseid's Omega Beams, and though both were severely wounded, Thanos proved his superiority in intellect and adaptability. Thanos has also faced enemies from within, those he once considered allies or family. During the Infinity Crusade event, he confronted the Goddess, the embodiment of good in the universe and a part of his own self. This battle was not merely a contest of strength, and Thanos proved that he was willing to sacrifice a part of himself to achieve his goals. He also fought Gamora, his adopted daughter, and Nebula, his granddaughter, in emotionally charged battles where he was forced to confront the memories of his past and his own mistakes. However, Thanos is not without weaknesses. His greatest vulnerability lies within his own soul. His mad love for Mistress Death sometimes blinds him, leading him to make grave errors in judgment just to please an entity that will never return his affections. His colossal ego is also a fatal flaw, often causing him to forego opportunities to swiftly destroy his enemies in order to demonstrate his superiority. He enjoys lecturing, relishing the sight of his enemies, despairing as they realize the greatness of Thanos before he delivers the killing blow, and this frequently creates openings for them to counterattack. Moreover, despite his terrifying power, Thanos is still a finite being, and when stripped of his cosmic artifacts, he becomes significantly more vulnerable. First of all, we have two entities wielding the power cosmic, two iron wills, and two completely opposing philosophies. In a battle between Shalla-Bal, the Silver Surfer, and Thanos, if we consider pure power in their base states, without the aid of cosmic artifacts, Thanos holds a clear physical advantage. He is stronger, more durable, and vastly more experienced in combat than Shalla-Bal. Thanos has spent millennia fighting the most powerful entities in the universe, and his body has been forged through countless life or death battles. Shalla-Bal, though she possesses the power cosmic, has yet to achieve the mastery of Norrin-Rad, and her combat experience is but a fraction of Thanos's. In a hand-to-hand confrontation, Thanos could easily overwhelm Shalla-Bal with his physical strength, using brute force attacks to wear her down. However, Shalla-Bal's strength does not lie in her muscles, but in her speed and energy manipulation abilities. With faster-than-light speed, Shalla-Bal can evade most of Thanos' attacks, using her agility to create opportunities for counterattack. She can fly around Thanos at dizzying speeds, unleashing devastating energy blasts from every direction, and wield her surfboard as a formidable weapon. Thanos, despite his quick reflexes, still cannot keep up with Shalla-Bal's speed and would be forced to rely on force fields and energy weapons for defense. In terms of energy-based abilities, both possess the power cosmic, but their methods of wielding it differ. Thanos tends to use his power in a brutal and direct manner, projecting destructive energy blasts with terrifying force. Shalla-Bal, on the other hand, wields her power with finesse and creativity, manipulating matter and energy at the atomic level to create unexpected and unpredictable attacks. She can turn planetary debris into weapons, create energy traps to slow Thanos' advance, and use the surrounding environment to gain an advantage. Yet Thanos is not just a warrior. He is also a scientific genius and a master tactician. He always has contingency plans, secret weapons, and cosmic artifacts hidden away in safe locations. If Thanos knew in advance that he had to face Shalla-Bal, he would not step onto the battlefield empty-handed. He would use the cosmic cube to create reality traps, wield the Infinity Gauntlet to bend space-time, or use the heart of the universe to become an omnipotent being. Shalla-Bal, despite having the power cosmic, is still just a herald and cannot compare to the might of an entity wielding such cosmic artifact. Furthermore, in terms of psychological warfare and sheer ruthlessness, Thanos also holds the upper hand. Shalla-Bal fights for love and protection and is not willing to employ brutal measures or sacrifice the innocent to achieve her goals. Thanos, in contrast, has no moral boundary. He is willing to annihilate an entire planet to achieve his ends, sacrifice billions of lives to please Mistress Death, and use any means necessary to win. This ruthlessness makes Thanos incredibly dangerous in battle, because he never hesitates, never retreats, and is always ready to do what other heroes dare not. However, Shalla-Bal possesses an advantage that Thanos lacks: the purity of her will. Her love for Nornrad and her compassion for all living things make Shalla-Bal incredibly resilient, and she never gives up, even when facing foes far stronger than herself. Shalla-Bal has proven that she can defeat stronger enemies through creativity and courage, exploiting their psychological weaknesses to gain the upper hand. If Shalla-Bal can exploit Thanos' psychological vulnerabilities, namely his mad love for Mistress Death and his colossal ego, she could create unexpected opportunities to counterattack. Shalla-Bal could hold her own against Thanos for a certain period thanks to her speed and energy manipulation. She could evade his attacks, use her agility to create counterattacking opportunities, and force Thanos to expend considerable effort trying to defeat her. However, once Thanos begins to deploy his secret weapons, cosmic artifacts, and brutal tactics, Shalla-Bal will be overwhelmed and ultimately defeated. Therefore, in my opinion, Thanos would be the last one standing, watching Shalla-Bal fall at his feet and affirming that in this universe, only power and will are what truly matter. Shalla-Bal may be a respectable heroine, a worthy inheritor of the Silver Surfer mantle, but Thanos is the Mad Titan, a being who has sat upon the throne of the multiverse, and no herald can defeat him when he is determined to win. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you all so much.